All right, so next we have, item number 17, which was pulled, consideration of a resolution protecting and promoting the health and welfare of its residents by maintaining a fully operational and effective fire department. Staff recommendation, approved resolution.
I requested this item. I can take it.
Yes, go ahead.
So I requested this item at the end of our July 1st meeting. I want to thank staff for bringing it back for approval. Had a conversation with the resident right outside when we were at National Night Out, and they're asking for a status update on the fire department and what that timeline looks like, given that we do have that June deadline. And they said, hey, from an outside perspective, it looks like there's nothing being done at any council meetings, and we're not really in the know of where we're at. It feels like the clock is ticking and the city's not making tangible progress. Kind of let them know work that's being done behind the scenes. Mr. Ramirez alluded to a little bit of it earlier, negotiations with the county, not just on tax sharing, but also on a potential contract extension for fire services as we navigate staffing our own department. But just one thought that I've had in mind over the last couple months, and the reason why I wanted to put this resolution forward is I disagree with the fact that nothing's being done. There is work being done, it's just not always being done here, or it's in an office or in separate meetings. However, I don't feel like we've moved fast enough by any means. From the time before me getting on council and from the time since I've been on council, I don't think that our pace has been fast enough with this item. Not necessarily afraid that we're gonna end up without a fire station. However, I think we need to move forward with better pace. And so in the absence of a strategic plan, we don't have any formal priorities in the city. We kind of just do whatever we need to do as things come up. We have understood priorities. We have stated priorities on the dais that we talk about. However, we don't have solid direction for ourselves and for staff to say, this is what we're going to go out and accomplish, and this is the way that we're going to do it. And so the intention with this resolution is to formally, as a matter of policy, state that maintaining a fully operational and effective fire department is the top priority for the city, and any activities related to making sure that the fire department stays open will take precedence over other city activities as needed. And that's explicitly stated in the resolution. Mr. Wallace, you had made a comment about funding. I believe you were alluding to Measure L and percentages of where money goes. There is language in the resolution about Measure L. However, it's my understanding that it simply states that Measure L was passed and that it's expected to generate a certain sum of money. There is no language in this resolution that portions that money out in any way. It doesn't say that a certain amount's going to fire and won't go to other places. The resolution simply states that the city is working to maintain a fire department. It is the top priority, and activities related to maintaining a fire department will take precedence over other activities, other meetings, et cetera, to make sure that in June of next year, we don't shut down our fire station. So that's the intention of this item. I'm open to any questions from other council members, and I strongly recommend that we approve this tonight.
My other question, Councilman Wupa, is just the last sentence where it takes precedence over all other city activities. Everybody knows we need the fire department, but there's other things in the city that could come up at the same time or be more raging. We could lose 3 wells, fire, police station burn. I mean, just that, if you got rid of that last sentence, I'd be happy with it. Just that last, I just don't like that wording on that last sentence where it takes precedence over all other city activities. We know it's on the front line. We know it's the first thing we're dealing with. I just don't like how that last sentence is worded.
I would like to state, it doesn't mean that we're not going to work on other stuff. It just means that this is a top priority. And if we were to go out and build a strategic plan, we would build priorities by number. And set certain things aside. I do also want to note the language as needed. It doesn't mean that the fire department is the only thing that we're going to work on. It doesn't mean that if there's a disaster in the city, we're just going to ignore it because we're working on the fire department. It simply states that maintaining our fire department is the city's top priority. That's the idea here. I don't think anybody on the dais necessarily disagrees with that. I mean, if you do, now's the time to discuss. However, again, I don't think we've moved fast enough. I think we can all do more on our end to move ourselves forward. And this is a way to state that as a matter of policy.
I think this is a good opportune time for me to just kind of give a synopsis of what has been accomplished to date, so that way at least the community has a baseline, and then we can move from here. So since then, we've actually the council went ahead and moved forward with the establishment of a Measure L committee, which is an oversight committee. And by the way, we only have, I believe, 2 applicants. We need some additional applicants. We also established the ad hoc committee for the fire services. And there's been some meetings with the county, and there's been a lot of meetings internally. So right now, what we're looking at is we've met with the city of Atwater, we met with the city of Merced, we've inquired with the city of Turlock and other cities across many different fronts. And we've talked to CAL FIRE to see if we can work with them directly. However, that's been cost prohibitive. We're talking about $4 million. So if you look at what we're going to get from Measure L, which is about 1.8 this year and about 2 million next year, we currently pay a fire parcel tax to the county. And so they take about $1.5 million. It's 1 million plus 500,000. And you look at, the equipment that we need, we're talking only about personnel costs. And so with Councilmember Upal and Mayor, we said, hey, you know what? There's a huge lead time on ordering a lot of apparatuses and equipment. So right now, actually, our department is looking at what type of truck we should order, what type of chassis we should order, the brand, et cetera. And then in addition to that, we're hoping to get an extension with the county because it all right now looks like we're going to have to go on our own and have our own police, our own fire department, that is, and training behind it, and then making sure that we have these different mutual aids because we all need each other. In addition to that, we've had conversations with the CEO and all the city managers about, hey, well, maybe we should have a consolidated fire district because we're too small in this county and we all need each other. We've had conversations with the county CEO and a couple of the supervisors as well. So there's a lot of moving parts, and we want to move faster. And I'm in agreement with Councilmember Upal. And this is not just here in the dais. That's everybody in the county, and because we need each other, and this is something very important.
Is there any other questions, comments on the dais? Mayor Pro Tem, you had a...
Yes, I do. Just for clarification, I can understand Mr. Wallace's concerns, and we all have it. And just to get a clarification from you, Mr. Wallace, if I may understand, you mentioned that if a well goes down, correct?
I did, I said, look, 2 hits.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that we can use Measure L for wells.
Public safety.
No, I'm not sure if that's what counts. But anyway, and a second one, you said if a building or something, I'm not sure if that really comes into it, but when the Measure L committee gets going, they'll be the ones making recommendations on the fundings and all that, So I'm not sure if you have concern. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't like it was all above all other city activities.
Yeah.
I just didn't like that sentence. That was only.
I mean, we can, if, I don't know, and I'll leave it to Councilmember Upal and you guys. In any way, Councilmember Upal, any way where it says fire department take precedence, can it be anything we change, says regarding Measure L money or something in that sentence? Just so that way he doesn't think that it's for above everything else?
I mean, in theory, we can. However, I do want to say I think that's the most important line of the resolution because that is the formal statement that this is our priority. Again, this does not mean that we're going to stop doing everything else, shut the city down, and only focus on our fire department. This means that if we need to prioritize moving forward on a meeting with the county or on a meeting internally with fire over potentially a meeting with self-help enterprises or a developer that wants to come in, we say, hey, we're in a drastic situation with our fire department. We are at risk of our station closing in June, and we need to make sure that we take care of this over anything else as needed. That is the purpose of that statement. Again, we're not shutting down the rest of the city. We are just formally stating this as our priority. And at least when I speak to the residents of all the different asks, this is the major concern. Is the station going to stay open?
Yeah.
This affirms in policy that we're making sure we prioritize that in our actions.
And I have no doubt that the 5 electeds up on the dais here are echoing the same to the residents that fire services priority, and we're going to make sure that we get it done. But is there a way, anything you can change in there to put Mr. Wallace's to rest in any way? Any wording you can change, maybe?
I think we can.
You're a pretty smart guy. You're pretty.
Mr. Wallace, if it makes you feel a little bit better about the resolution, I think I don't see any problem with adding a line that says, whereas the city will still continue to work on all other necessary functions, just to make sure that that's explicitly stated as well. Again, it's not my intention to just stop doing everything else. I just want to make sure this is our top priority. So if that would satisfy that, I'm more than happy to include that within.
It would.
Good.
Mr. Ramirez, Mark, I'm not sure if we need any more words other than whereas the city will continue to perform all other necessary functions. But if that suffices on your guys' end, I'm more than happy to have that be the wording.
And go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to interlineate and add a new 5th recital and renumber the subsequent recitals. So this new 5th recital will read as the council member stated, whereas the city will continue to perform all other city functions.
Sure.
Is that?
Is that sufficient, Mr.? That's good.
Okay. Perfect.
And I want to thank both my council members. Thank you very much for working this out. I know it's a simple little thing, but it shows the unity and our commitment to the fire services. Thank you.
So at this time, I will go out for public comment. Is there any public comment on the phone in regards to this item? 8:16. Hearing none, coming back to the chamber, is there any public comment or questions in regards to this item in the chamber? Seeing none, closing the citizen comments at 8:16, bringing it back to the dais. Any further discussion, motions?
If there's no other questions or comments, I'll motion to approve as amended.
So I have a motion on the floor by Councilmember Upal. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilmember Roth. Roll call, please.
Roll call, Councilmember Roth,
Yes.
Councilmember Upal,
Yes.
Councilmember Wallace,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Samra,
Yes.
Mayor Moran.
Yes.
Motion passes by a vote of 5-0.
Thank you.